Oi, my name is James. How you doing today? Oi, hello. How you doing? Hey, buddy. How you doing? Yes, this is James of the James W. radio show. Only on Facebook, because that's all I can afford. Yeah, I can't afford my own website. I'm cheap. But see, here's the thing that's important, right? I'm getting my name out there on Facebook. And if I have to do it through 3 people, I will. Okay? If I have to get through 3 people, I will. So that's the story there. And I'm sticking to it. I am sticking to my story because that's just how I do it. That's how I do it. That is how I do it. That is how I do it. That is how I do it. I'm just testing my thing here. I don't know why I'm testing it. Every time it doesn't work. I'm always in the red. And people would know because they hear me. They hear what the James, you get it? What the James is up to. Now we're going 2 minutes into this song and I don't care. Because I'm kickstarting my heart. Only on the James W. Show. So how are you? How's everybody doing? I am doing fantastic. It's funny. Not really that funny, but I always, sometimes, like when I go to bed, I don't know if you know this. I don't think you care. When I go to bed, I always have a radio show on or a TV show, or if it's like, sports talk radio. I always do this. Every single time. And there's times where I've listened to this, I've listened to that, and there's nothing to listen to, and then I pull up my podcast. I don't want to fucking listen to that shit. No, I don't. I do not want to listen to my own voice. It's disgusting. I let you listen to my voice, but you don't know. You don't know. You don't know what it's like to be me. I think, maybe, you know what? I bet you everybody feels that way about their own voice. Like, fuck, I don't want to hear my voice in the, 10 years ago. That's what people think probably, right? I don't want to hear my voice. Fuck voices, right? You just want to get out there and, say what you got to say. And then when the time comes, you do your thing. I think that's what life is all about. Just do your thing. Don't care. Don't even try. Do your thing. See? Do your thing. But then you're also saying don't try, but do your thing. So in order to do your thing, you gotta try, right? Stupid common sense, right? So that motto that I live by doesn't work because there's 2 things going against each other. So I'm going to just tell you right now, I'm not going to talk about my motto anymore because that is obviously what's killing me. And then there's another thing that's killing me. I don't know if you remember this, but this was maybe 6 months ago in Winnipeg here. There was a lady from the... I don't want to say where she's from because I don't know exactly where she's from. But I know she was I'm going to say she was in Winnipeg. And she said, you know what, guys? There are not enough dog parks in the city. Yeah, there's not enough. There's only about 15 of them. Or, you know what? As ignorant as it is, I don't know how many are in the goddamn city here. There's too many. There's too many dog parks. And I'm going to tell you, there should be a cat park. A goddamn cat park. There should be a cat park in the city of Winnipeg. And that's the thing. Because people don't understand. People that love dogs, they love dogs. And a lot of people have dogs to compensate for not having kids. That's a true fact. I know so many people out there that they get their dogs and they they treat them like they're their kids. And a dog is not a kid. And that's I don't even think they're that close. You know? I would rather have a kid than have a dog. I know there's a crowd out there that says, "James, you asshole." No, I would rather have a kid than have literally have a brand new baby over having a dog. You know? Because I don't feel that strong bond that so many people that I know have. I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but if I could pick a cat over a dog, any day I would. There's not even a debate. There's nothing. There's not even there's nothing. There's no debate. I'm telling you like it is. I would rather have a newborn baby that's like shitting their pants and throwing up, but also giving you like love and kisses and just cute sounds and stuff. I would rather have that than have a dog. I'm telling you right now. And I'm sure you're wondering why. The three people that listen to this, I bet you're asking yourself, why, James? Why would you rather have... Well, I'll tell you. I would rather have a baby than a dog. Because the baby is cuter. I'm going to just come up and say it. The baby, maybe some parts of the baby, not so much. Because, like, I know when the babies come out, their heads are sponges. And I know that because I went through it, okay? I know what it's like. And when you see the baby alien come out, that's what it kind of looks like. It looks like an alien. Like, 1 second. This is when people say, James, what's it like having a baby? Or what's the birth like? Well, I'll tell you. It's not pretty. The birth experience, I'm telling you right now, is just okay. And I won't fill you in all the details, but when people say, James, did you see the birth? I'll tell them what I tell them. I did see. So, and that's why I say it's disgusting. And people say all the time, the birth experience is so beautiful. It's so cruel. Not cruel. It's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I think there should be a rule. The men have to stand on a certain part of the birth area there where everything's going down. And they can't see anything. Now, some would say, and I'm not going to agree to this, but some would say, looking at the woman's body part later on in life is not so pleasant. And I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not telling you a thing. You guys can figure that out for yourself. I give enough advice on this goddamn radio show. I give way too much, for the lack of support that I get. Maybe not lack of support, more like just what the hell is he doing support. It's like, it's not really support, it's like half support. Does it make sense? It's kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna like things, but we feel really sorry that you're trying to do something like this, and so it's not technically 100% support. I'd say it's probably like a 66% support, and I gotta do a little bit better than that. Because there's some things that severely bothered me over the weekend. The first thing is driving me nuts. I don't know about you guys. This is driving me nuts. It's the traffic in Winnipeg. Okay? And often you'll find throughout the day, throughout the months, throughout the weekends, whatever, there's parts of Winnipeg that you cannot drive on because the traffic is so bad. And I'll tell you right now, I have never in my life seen such a cluster F as it is on Osborne right now. I'm going to say it. It's terrible. So I'll drop my kids off at their school, and I will sit waiting down, what street is that? Down Jubilee. Jubilee turns into Inkster from something like that, whatever. So I'm driving down Jubilee. Jubilee in Osborne is so bad, and they got, I guess, I don't know if you guys know where the rapid transit bus is there, where the main pickup spot is. It's yeah, Jubilee, whatever. But anyways, so underneath the overpass, I guess you can say, or the bridge that the buses go on, they're doing construction and they've limited 2 lanes into 1 lane. And the thing that's driving me nuts about this driving situation is people are fucking morons. They're morons. Some of them, not, well, they're not morons, but they're, oh, I love this song. No, they're not morons. See, that's the thing. I don't want to be, because there's reasons for everything that we do. Everything that you do, there's a reason for it, whether you know it or not. It's there. It's always there. But anyways, 2 lanes turn to 1 lane, and you've got a lot of notice to let you know that second lane, the left lane, is going to merge with the right lane. You have forever to know about this. And you see the lineup. You see the lineup heading on the right-hand side. It's pretty bad, right? You got these assholes that come in on the left side, the left lane, that'll drive all the way to where the barricade is and expect to be let in. They've cut 10 minutes of their trip because they're too lazy to get in the right lane. That's crap. Absolute crap. How is that even, like, we're always preaching manners, right? We always tell our kids, hey, Steve, you're doing a really good job doing the dishes there, like you're talking to your kid, right? Or hey, Rexy, you clean the floor, right? Please. You say please. We're always preaching, we're always preaching that. We're always saying, you should say thank you. You should say whatever. We're teaching these bad drivers who have bad habits, who have road rage. We're teaching them. We're allowing them. We're letting them know. We're letting them rule the road, and it's not fair. I don't know why we do this. We let the bad drivers run the road because we're scared of confrontations. We're scared of, we're scared of so much stuff, right? These people that don't like that kind of like confrontations, we get scared pretty easily, right? So a situation like this where, these situations, we just let it happen. We let it happen, and it's not fair, but we do it. So these asshole drivers get an extra 10 minutes to wherever they have to go because they cut the line so badly. These guys will cut 4, 5, 6 times easily. Like from the light to green light to the red light. They've cut 10 minutes of our time while we, the people that are good drivers and know the rules of the road, we lose that time. We lose 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever. Sometimes it's even worse. I'm sure that's not the worst road in the city. I'm sure there's worse. And I've always said, I have the utmost respect for construction workers. And I know that I could never do what they do. Right? But there's got to be a system in place where you can do construction 24 hours a day. See, I don't know because, they have families and all that stuff, and I respect that. But they make so much money and they work hard. They work hard for the money. It would just be nice to have construction not 24 hours a day, but even maybe on weekends, right? So you got a group of guys that work maybe 5 days on, 3 off, or 5 on, 6 on, whatever, right? You would think there were some guys that would be willing to work, midnights, but at the same time, you can't see what you're doing too. So yeah, it kind of works both ways, I guess, So yeah, construction's just crappy drivers. I'm telling you, it's just stressful, and winter's coming, and I hate driving in the winter time, and it's just stressful. This is so much stress. So much stress. And you know what? These guys that just think they run the road, eventually, those are the guys that are going to get dementia, and they're going to get, irritable bowel syndrome and like things like that will happen to them because karma will catch up to them. Like karma follows you and sees, okay, James, you've done some good things today. We're going to give you some good points. And then later down the road, you might be faced with a situation where you gotta make the right decision, right? So karma says, was he good? Or was he an asshole, right? And karma will say, ding, 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 asshole. And then this guy's fucked, right? So the decision he's about to make gets fucked because karma is very prevalent. Very prevalent in society. And I'm telling you, that's the truth. You ask any karma expert, I know what I'm talking about. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So I'm going to play some new music. I'm going to stop this music first. I'm going to play you, and I'm not just cutting out. This is just kind of like just hanging out kind of time. It's a new album by A Day to Remember. This song is called Naivety on James W. Radio. I'm going to be coming in right away. So stay tuned for the breakdown. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what was I talking about before? And thanks for coming back. That is Day to Remember. They are probably easily one of my favorite bands of all time. Of all time. They go on the list. They go on the list of all the greats. The greats, like Blink-182. They're on there. Top 5. So my top 5. This is I'm going to tell you right now my top 5 bands of all time. If I can pick 5 bands that are alive today. Because I don't know a lot of old stuff. But if I could pick my top 5, it would go Blink-182, A Day to Remember, No Use for a Name, and then rounding out 4 and 5, I'm going to say NoFX and that's a tough one. The starting line, maybe early starting line, because that's when I love starting line. Holy, they were like my favorite band. Remember 2002 Warped Tour? I dyed my hair blonde, and I went to the Warped Tour, and I dyed my hair blonde, and I got a picture with the singer of the band. But I was like such a fanboy. There was six or seven guys for their show. And I think I brought my friend Glenn, and he told him, come, like, watch these guys or whatever. But, if I may, the starting line would be in there too. And that's another thing I kind of wanted to Google right now is, the 2002 Warped Tour lineup. Because I want to tell you, all the bands that were in Warped Tour 2002. Are you guys ready for this? Because I'm sure this is going to blow your mind. Oh, 2002. No, not by... Oh. Well, this is not going to work. That was a stupid system. Maybe the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so we're going back to 2002. Are you ready for this? These are all the bands that were in Warped Tour 2002. So we got, and this is going to blow your mind. We got Bad Religion, we got Flogging Molly, Good Charlotte, Lagwagon, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, MXPX, Newfound Glory, No Use for a Name, No Effects, and Real Big Fish. And the up-and-comers for that year was Alkaline Trio, Something Corporate, The Used, Thrice, and Thursday. Can you believe that? And you know what? It was July 23rd, but it wasn't at the Fargo Dome. Actually, I don't remember where it was. That was then when they used to go to Calgary, and God, I love going to Calgary. I only went there once for Warped Tour. I don't know what I got going on in the background here. Oh, this is Beast of the Southern Wild. Yeah. Yeah, more. This is that's Bad Vibrations by A Day to Remember. But anyway, so as I was going on about Warped Tour, can you believe that lineup? Like, that just blows my mind. So many good freaking bands are on that lineup. And most of those bands aren't relevant today, and this is one of those things where you're a kid and you're like, fuck, like, Good Charlotte is the top band at my age during that time, right? And I'm like, this band is never gonna go away. They're so popular. And then life hits you and you're just like on a fucking used, milk carton, right? It's like, God damn it, like, Good Charlotte? Come on. And they release an album and you don't hear a peep from them. That's it. Nothing. Because the people that are my age are keeping this band, alive or whatever. The new kids only care about the new stuff. They don't care about the old stuff. Do you see how that works? It's crap. It's crap. I tell you, it's crap. Hello, Winnipeg. How you doing today? Yeah. Like a time bomb. Like a time bomb. Yeah. So I've probably been in red the whole time, but it's okay. I don't mind being in the red. It's that's not the best feeling, but whatever. It is what it is, right? So as I was saying earlier too, so I took my son to a football game, the first football game really of his life. Maybe he's been to a couple, I don't know. I took him to this game, and I got free tickets or whatever, so I went. And the section was the student fun zone section. It wasn't the family fun zone section. It was the, fun zone section. They did the Beer Snake a couple sections over. But like things like that, whatever. So I took him there and I said to him, I was like, you know what, son? You're gonna hear some bad words today. Okay, I can't tell the boys not to say those words. But you're going to hear some bad words today. And I hope I never, ever have to hear you hear those words. Do you understand, son? He looked at me. He said, yes, Daddy. You're right. I'm sorry. No, he didn't say. He just said, yes, okay, Daddy. Because there were some bad words that were said. Holy hell. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts, the things that I hear. Just F word every second word. And I could tell. I knew who was saying what. I saw where it was coming from. I knew when the swears were coming or when, you know. And then, like, I don't know, 10 sections in front of me, rows in front of me, these guys started yelling at this girl. I don't know if she was yapping back at them, telling them to sit down or something. But then, like, 5 guys started teaming up against this girl. And I'm, like, thinking, what's going on here? And whatever. So that was that. But I know I took them and, ooh. I died. Ooh. All I can say is, ooh. But then there was a story in the newspaper. I guess it was in the news, but it was on whatever, on TV. I guess his family took their 9-year-old son, who was, 9 years old, and he was a Rider fan, so he was wearing Rider apparel. So, and apparently, I guess these hooligans that live in, those hooligans, I guess these guys were, I don't know, accosting the kid, right? Them, giving him a hard time, and I don't know if they're dumping their beer on him or whatever, but, I started thinking about how I was so oblivious to my son, and, maybe it wasn't the most appropriate place to go. So I kind of learned that, but my story wasn't so bad. Like, it's okay that it's not okay, but it's, he heard, how many swears, 500 swears, or, have the fans give him a hard time, and I'd obviously pick the first option. But it got me thinking, like, you can't take your kid to a Bomber game. Like, it's impossible. I don't even think you can take him to a football game. Because the way I see it, right, these guys and girls, usually sometimes the girls are worse than the guys. But the guys, I bet you, they went home last night, the night before, at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they started drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning. That is exactly what happened. It was the atmosphere at the Bomber game, and that's fine. I totally support that. I just know I cannot bring my son to a game. Like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way I'm going to sit through that again. So those are my two, not rants, but, I mean, at the same time, you gotta, I feel sorry for this kid, but at the same time, if it was a 9-year-old Blue Bomber fan, I would understand, but it's a 9-year-old Rough Rider fan with guys that have been drinking all day. I mean, there's no excuse for that part, but it just can't. I'm probably an a-hole for saying this, but I don't think it's as bad as it is. Because I've heard the Bomber, the board there, or the organization, have offered things to the kid, because it's a bad news story, but can be made into a good news story. But I think every city's got that. Fans are just passionate. There's something about sports. I don't know what it is. Guys just go ape shit over them. And you find it in the city here, and you find it in Winnipeg. People love the Jets, right? And the guys love the Jets like it's a religion. And I'm one of them too, but I don't get too worked up over things in general. So you've been listening to the New City by Day to Remember, and I'm going to quiz you on this. This is what number was it on my top 5 bands of the year, or of all the lifetime? Number 2. Yes, you were right. Most of you are wrong because you weren't listening to me. Yes, A Day to Remember. Such a good band. Album is called Bad Vibrations. And I'm going to end my show now. I think I've talked long enough. But I was going to end it off with, and this is kind of, normally I do like a relationship question or whatever. This time I'm going to do a movie review of the movie Safe Haven. Sorry, not Safe Haven. Safe Haven. Stars Josh Duhamel, And oh my god, I'm just blanked. I just did a blank. Or I did a blank, see? Julianne Hough. So this is a story you find out, and I'm going to give you probably the whole rundown of what the movie is, right? But this, you find out, you start watching it, and all of a sudden, this girl's running to a town. She's trying to escape something, right? Because, I don't know, she's got an abusive boyfriend, right? Or husband. I don't husband. So they did get married. But she's young, so you have to think she must have got married at a really young age. So she escapes this town, and she goes on a bus because somebody's chasing her. And she ends up, and I'm going to say I don't know the name of the town that she ends up in, but she ends up in a little town. It's got a couple of stores, lots of fishing, water, whatever. And she ends up working at this seafood store, kind of like a restaurant, it's not a Red Lobster, but it's like Red Lobster for a small town, right? Like Chris's Fish and Chips or something, right? So she ends up working there, and then somehow she makes enough money. I don't know, she probably ran off with a lot of money. That's probably what happened, but they didn't really show that. But it'd be cool if they could have said, like, where she had, like, if she had money or not. Like, as a producer, I would have done that. I would have been like, maybe showing her, looking inside her wallet to see, maybe she doesn't have a lot of money. So you kind of know what her financial situation is, right? So she's working, and then somehow she gets a cottage. That's the thing that blows my mind. I don't know what kind of, right? It doesn't work, right? So first thing there's a serious, terrible plot flaw, right? So and then all of a sudden she's living in this apartment or this cottage in the woods. So she's living there. She starts painting the floor because she's got money for paint now because her, seafood job is really taking off. And then slowly she starts getting involved with this guy, which is fine because you watch the movie for that situation. But it comes in, and at first she doesn't like him, and she's keeping her distance, and then all of a sudden they have a moment, and he's like, the first thing I'm going to do for you when you sleep is I'm going to get you a bike. So he gets her a bike. She storms to his work and drops it off. She's playing hard to get on that one. That's exactly what she's doing. She loved the bike idea. So, guy tries to save the day, fails. She takes the bike, gives it to him. He's like, what am I supposed to do with it? So the next thing you know, his son hits his head, or he falls, and the girl kind of I don't know, lets everybody know that this guy's son fell. So the dad jumps in the water, and then she's holding his daughter, and then he's like, oh, I like her, and then she's like, oh, maybe I like him, and so whatever. So they start flirting, and next thing you know, they're sleeping with each other, and then all of a sudden you find out that the guy that's chasing her for murder is actually not murder. It's just an ex-husband that's trying to find her. Like, that's a big bold lie. I don't know about you, but that's a big bold lie. So he's trying to find her, and he does. He ends up finding her, and nearly lights her on fire. But then, so what ends up happening basically is he finds her. He's a drunk. He lost his job because he's drinking. Terrible mistake. Number two there. And he finds her, and then she tells him, I'm happy with whatever. And he's and he ends up dying. Basically, he ends up dying. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you, is before all this girl sees this other girl, this neighbor, right? She's a neighbor. And she's kind of she shows up once in a while. So you find out that this girl, this neighbor, was actually the dead wife of the guy, which is kind of hard to believe because now you're basically saying that the main star of the movie is seen something, right? Seen something enough to know, that, so right now we're saying this girl's got serious problems, right? So this movie's flawed. Movie's flawed on so many levels. We go from financials, we go from ghosts. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it's a financial crisis movie or if it's, a Ghostbuster movie. I don't know what the answer is. But I will tell you right now that you've listened to the James W. Show, and it's time for me to go. So I'm going to leave you with words of advice from my uncle Igmar. No, not Igmar. Embelbert. This is for you, Uncle Ebby. He said, I'll see you on the bus tomorrow. And I said, peace. Peace. Peace.